Okay, so we are live. Hi everyone, myself Gaurav Raz. Because of the quite good response for Java and microservices session that we had done earlier, and the quantity of views and the uh, all attention that you people gave, we have come here with another session of Java with Ashish. मेरे साथ आशीष जुड़े हुए हैं और Ashish has almost 5+ years of experience in Java related technologies and he is working in a reputed MNC. So Ashish, first I would like you to introduce yourself and then we will start the meeting session.
Sure. So first of all, thank you, Gaurav here, and thank you everyone who is watching us live. So basically, I am Ashish Kumar. I born and brought up in Patna, Bihar, but right now I am living in Bangalore, and I have 5 years plus experience in Java, basically. So if you talk about my skills, I am good in Java, Spring, Hibernate, Spring Boot, microservices, and front-end technology like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and I'm learning Angular as well. So yeah, this is my introduction.
Ashish, you were also part of no, you were also part of the last Java session with Madhav Mishra and Ashutosh, right? So,
Yes,
how you think was the response and uh, what was your experience of the first session?
that first session was experience was really awesome, and the our team member and our like who has connected with us is supported very well. So the share itself is completed century share they have done. So it's like thank you for giving me this much love and support. So yeah, it was a great experience, Gaurav, here, and even we got good response. We got personal message as well for the appreciation. So yeah.
Okay, perfect. So now, without wasting our time, now let's move to the Java interview preparation session, right? Because many people have connected here for the session itself for Java preparation, right? Today we are completely going to focus on the Java related concepts because we have a number of questions that we wanted to discuss. So we will be having Java and microservices separately, right? So now let's start, Ashish. So proceeding on our last session, my question now next question with you is, what is the difference between an abstract class and an interface, Ashish, in Java?
This is the most famous interview questions. If you attend in any interview, the interviewer definitely asks about this. Like, what is the difference in class and abstract class? What is the difference between class and interface? And sometimes they ask like, what is the difference in abstract class and interface? So there are like means many changes are there in that questions. So I will explain each and everything. So okay. So first is like what is class? So class is a logical entity. Okay, have through by which we can create that object, we can instantiate that object and share the common property with everyone. Common property for all the objects. Okay, so like how we can understand with the example, because definition there are multiple people who indicate it. Okay, so like suppose a class is there animal, so it's a logical entity. If somebody will tell you, can you draw the diagram of animal, so in my mind the multiple question will come, right? One is like कौन सा एनिमल का बना है, कैट का, डॉग का, किस चीज का बना है, उसका कलर क्या होगा, उसका साइज क्या होगा, उसका, there are multiple. So we cannot predict it. It's a logical entity. But if you will talk about that object, it has a having its own physical entity. Okay, तो बेसिकली क्लास हम लोग बनाते हैं ना. सो क्लास एनिमल बनाए, राइट? सो इसमें सम प्रॉपर्टी लाइक एनिमल कैन मूव, एनिमल कैन वॉक, animal has four legs, animal has tail, right? So tail, uh, 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 so int, how many tails are there? So this is like one property, you can say that state, right? So animal can have, animal can move, these are the behavior, it means methods. So this is all about the classes, right? So class means a logical entity. So same similar way, so what is basically abstract class? So abstract class is a special type of class. Okay, it's not like inside the class there can be many things. Like, but inside, okay, now. So, but many things, but we cannot declare abstract method inside class. But in abstract class, there can be concrete method as well as abstract method. So we can, if we want to achieve abstraction like 0 to 90, 0 to 100% abstraction, then we will go for abstract class. Abstraction means what? Hiding the implementation and providing the functionality to the user, right? So set of functionality to the user. Like suppose if you are using an abstract class, then there might be chance of concrete as well as concrete method means method with method with body as well, right? And abstract method is like only method declaration is there with so we need to extend that abstract class, and we can override that method whatever the abstract method is there. So we can override and proceed with our implementation, right? So in the child class you can say, or extended class. So the third is like what is interface. So interface is also a template, which is like a template of class, right? So inside interface only we can achieve 100% abstraction. So how? Only inside inside interface na Gaurav here, one thing is like only abstract method is allowed, no concrete method are allowed. Okay, so because of that we achieve 100% abstraction using interface. So suppose when we go for interface, the thing is, if you don't know the requirement, then we will go for interface. Don't know, a specification is not clear at all, so we will go for, suppose we are developing one banking software. So there the rate of interest is still not defined, right? So we will making a class like SBI bank, the rate of interest is not defined. It means that it means that we can declare that method like we will make SBI bank as a interface. Okay, and that interest method is there. Now interest rate is a method, so just make it abstract method. So now if you want to implement in future, after 2 months the bank came and they want to tell us, they were telling like the interest rate is increased. So how we can, so our implementation class we will make, and in that we will write that logic. So based on what internally we are how we are increasing or decreasing the interest rate. So yeah, so this is like a simple example, like we are hiding that implementation and providing the support, right? Or providing the functionality to the user, right? So this is the concept of interface. So now the whatever the question you asked is like about difference between abstract class and interface. So I'll go with that. So that interface is means if we know 100%, 100% we know the specification requirement, then we will go for abstract. If we don't know, अगर हम लोग रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है तो हम लोग इंटरफेस में जाएंगे, क्योंकि बाद में उसको इम्प्लीमेंटेशन क्लास करके मेंटेनेंस इजी रहते हैं, राइट? सो लेकिन अब्स्ट्रैक्ट क्लास में क्या है कि हम लोग पार्शियली रिक्वायरमेंट है, ठीक है? कोई किसी रिक्वायरमेंट का हम लोग को रिक्वायरमेंट मिला पार्शियली, देन वी विल गो फॉर अब्स्ट्रैक्ट क्लास, राइट? So the second difference is we can achieve 100% abstraction using interface. We can in using abstract class we can achieve 0 to 100%. Okay. The third thing is like whatever the methods are there, right? So inside interface it should be public only and abstract only, right? So if you are declaring a method inside interface as a private or protected, or you are making a method as final or static or synchronized or native, then it will give you error. The compiler itself give you the error, okay, right? But in abstract class not like that. We can modify, we can like there is a modifiers, any modifier is applicable for the abstract class. Okay, So now come with for the variables, right? So inside interface only public and static and final modifier, like if you are declaring int I is equal to 10 inside interface, so by default if it should be public, static and final. You cannot change the value. Okay. So but inside a abstract class, whatever the variable is there, you can change the value of that variable, and it can't be like as public, static and final. It can be anything. Okay. Any modifier you can use. Okay na? So the fifth point is like we can make that inside interface, no, whatever the variable you declare, you cannot make it or declare it private, protected, transient and volatile. But there is no restriction for the abstract class. You can make it private, protected, volatile and transient. Okay. So if you talk about a constructor, right? So inside interface, constructor is not allowed, but inside abstract class, the constructor is allowed. Okay. So the next question interviewer will ask, what is the use of constructor of in abstract class? So the thing is, abstract class is there, right? So if you want to extend that abstract class, so if you are making one constructor to using which we can initialize the variables, right? We can perform the constructor chaining as well, right? So this is the contract between like if you are inheritance contract. Okay now.
Correct.
Right. So these are the concept you have, and constructor is there means you cannot create that object class instance, we cannot create that object of object class. So please remember this, guys, this is a very important question. So I
Correct.
hope, yeah, this is like final answer, Gaurav. Yeah.
Perfect. So, on a conclusion, you mentioned 4 to 5 points that are quite important regarding the interface and the abstract classes, right? So,
Yes,
regarding the percentage of abstraction we can
achieving
achieve
abstraction.
through the interface and the abstract classes, and how we declare parameters and the functions and everything like. Perfect. So, next question I would like to ask you, Ashish, is regarding polymorphism, right? So polymorphism is an important concept is any object-oriented programming language, right? You go through C++,
Yes.
Java, or any object-oriented programming language, polymorphism is uh, quite important concept. So in Java, I want to know from you that what is polymorphism in Java, what are its type, and how we achieve polymorphism in Java, right?
Yes. So first I'll define it. Last class also I have explained like polymorphism definition. So polymorphism means poly means many, morphism means form, right? So an object shows different behavior as at different stages of its life cycle is the concept of polymorphism, right? So in Java there are two type of polymorphism. One is compile time polymorphism, another is runtime polymorphism. Okay. So last time I have explained with the examples also, like now I am giving the another example, like suppose I am a person, I behave differently from my with my parents. I am the only one object, and if I live with my parent, then I will be obedient. Sometime I ask, sometime मैं जिद भी करूंगा, राइट? तो कि मुझे ये चाहिए, मुझे वो चाहिए। और जब मैं अपने टीचर के पास रहता हूँ तो पूरा ओबीडिएंट रहता हूँ। जब मैं अपने कलीग के साथ, जैसे कॉलेज के कुछ दोस्त हैं हमारे, तो उनके साथ पूरा फॉर्मल रहता हूँ, राइट? तो एम्प्लॉय के साथ कैजुअल रहता हूँ। सो एवरीथिंग इज लाइक आई एम द ऑब्जेक्ट behaving like, if I am with my parents, so behaving differently. I am with my family, behaving differently, colleague differently. So I am the single object and behaving this the means my behavior is going is changing again and again. So this is the concept of polymorphism. So there is like type of polymorphism. So two type of polymorphism: compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. So see, the thing is, compiler is going to bind the method declaration and method definition during compilation. This is that's why it's called compile time polymorphism. So by the compiler, it was binded. So one more interview question is there: why compile time polymorphism is called static binding, or why it's called early binding, right? So it is called early binding because compiler, during compilation only the binding happened, right? So that's why it's called compile time polymorphism. And early binding. So a static binding means we cannot, after the compiler is going to bind a method definition and method declaration, or right. So we are not. So it is static. We cannot change the time. We cannot change that at runtime. So okay, no. So it's called static binding. So I will go with the example. I will share that screen and show you the program also. So
Sure,
first
Ashish,
I'll,
go ahead.
yeah.
Yeah,
So the second thing is like dynamic binding, right? So dynamic binding is happening at runtime. Okay. So we are runtime. So it's also called runtime polymorphism. Okay. It is called late binding because all the things means the binding is happening at the runtime. So maybe most of you guys didn't get it properly. So I'll go with I'm sharing my screen and go with
sure.
one programming example. So based on
So,
that, you get it more.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in at least even in C++ or what we are seeing in Java, the whole difference in polymorphism is compile time and the runtime binding, right? So yeah,
Correct.
go ahead with your screens here, and we will see the code part.
So I have shared my screen. Is it visible for you guys? Means Gaurav,
Yeah,
it's
it's visible. You
okay.
can continue explaining.
So see, if you want to achieve polymorphism in Java, right? So there is two way to achieve. One is using overloading concept, right? Overloading, what it will do is, so overloading definition is like overloading. Two methods are said to be overloaded uh, when the return type, not return type, argument type is different. That's it. See, the two methods are said to be overloaded. Only in that scenario, the name of the method should be same and the argument should be changed. So right now argument is integer, the size of argument is changed, and the type of argument will change. This means this all the methods are overloaded method. Okay. So this is the example of compile time polymorphism. Okay. So the method is there, right? So demo method signature is same, method is same, right? The name of the method is same, but the changes are with parameter or argument, right? So here int is there, here int, int two ints are there, right? So here double are there, right? So three methods are said to be overloaded, right? The name is same but different in argument type, so that method is called overloaded method. So what is the benefit of overloading? The thing is like there is no need to create, like in C what is happening is, if you want to add something, right? So one method is there, abs, and add integer in that some specific constant you are adding integer. So another method you have to declare abs. So abs, and then we will pass that argument int inside that. If you'll talk about like if you want to add that constant number with long type of data type, so what you have to do is, once again you have to write like lbs, something is like that, labs, right? Or after that if you want to add decimal, so for decimal like floating value, if you want to add in the constant, so another method you have to declare. But that what about the three methods doing the same thing, but we are like complexity is increasing, why we are unnecessarily changing the name, right? So here the name should be same, right? Only we can change in the argument. So it's like simple, there is no complexity, right? So complexity will reduce. Even even we won't declare that. So and we will like pass that upper like this is int, right? So if we'll declare as a decimal, so also it will work, but there is like wastage of memory. So don't do like that. So yeah, so this is the concept of overloading. So overloading means basically two methods are said to be two or more methods are said to be overloaded when the name of the method is same, but the argument should be argument should differ, right? So argument should differ in type and size of argument. So see, it is in type, now it is double type now. Okay, the size of it, like first time only one argument, second time two arguments, so it is called overloaded method, right? So how we can achieve compile time polymorphism in that? See, so the thing is, here we are creating, this is one class I have created. These are the some three methods, right? So once I am writing like if we are creating that object obj is equal to new overloaded, and we are calling methods, right? So only one argument we are passing. So compiler is going to judge like which method see, demo is three places, right? But we are not sure like which demo will be getting called, right? So if we are passing only one argument, that is 10, so it will go here and here also, right? So but the compiler will decide. So compiler decide during compilation only. So it will call the specific this method, and it will print like the value of a is like 10, right? The second method is like object demo, and we are calling with the two argument, right? So and after that we are printing a and b value. So we are getting 10 and 12 during compilation only. It is decided by compiler, right? So this is the example of overloading. So how we can achieve polymorphism? So see, the object is same, overloaded obj, object is same obj, and demo methods is also same everywhere. So an object shows different behavior at different stages of its life cycle, right? So if we are passing only one argument, so it is printing a only. If we are passing two argument, then it is printing a and b value. And if we are passing double value or decimal value, it is printing the decimal value and returning multiplication of the decimal value, right? So 55 square is like 3025. Okay, so because of that, the output we are getting 55, right? Result we are printing in at last, so we are getting 25. So double and all, it not return type is not at all part of like method overloading. Okay, so this return type is never be a part of method overloading. So only we can, it is defined like based on the argument. If you are doing the changes, then it is like overloaded, it is called overloaded. So now the second thing is like overriding. So overriding means two methods are said to be overridden, right? So if you want to see superclass method, there are two class, parent class and child class. So if I am not satisfied with parent class implementation, then we will parent class methods, then we will go for like we will use overriding concept, and we will our own implementation for that specific method. We will provide our own implementation for that method, right? So that concept is called overriding. So overriding means if you want to implement your own class, you are not satisfied with the super class methods implementation, so the Java is going to give you special a special Java will give you the support, a special support, like you can override that your method into the child class, and you can provide your own implementation, right? So that is the concept of overriding. So yeah, Gaurav, yeah, this is the I have explained about your question, like what is polymorphism, how to achieve it, and what is that, how many types of polymorphism.
Correct, correct. If possible, can you like post this session? Can you put the code in the comment section also, Ashish? with a heading that this is overloading and overriding. If this way, if you are comfortable, maybe you can share, or we will share
Yes,
in the group. That's fine.
we have our we have our WhatsApp group and Facebook group which we are going live, so we can post that code.
Perfect.
Yes,
Okay, perfect. So that was the difference between the different types of polymorphism we achieve in Java, overloading and
yes,
the overriding concept that are quite important. And whatever these two
yes,
questions at least we have discussed when we are in the beginning of any like interview preparation kind of thing, right? Like even after 5 years or 6 years or 7 years, whatever experience you have in the beginning, if you are preparing for Java, these questions you must be clear about, right? So
yes,
quite important question, Ashish. And now, like moving to next question, I would like you to know more about strings from you, right? String is also an important concept, right? Whatever
correct.
there are a lot of string manipulations activities or actions that are being done in any kind of project, right? Without testing, you cannot think of implementing any kind of project, right? So I
Yes,
would like to know more about the strings, like what is a string buffer, and a string builder in Java. So that I would like to know from you, Ashish.
yes. So see, a string is like immutable in Java. It's a class, so it is available in java.lang package, right? So a string means if you char sequence, right? Char sequence means A, B, C, D is there. It is A is like a char. So if you want to collect, if you want to collect all the characters sequentially, then we will go for the concept called a string, right? So a string is like how it is different from a string buffer and a string builder. So a string is immutable in nature. Okay, so we immutable means we cannot change the value of a string. Once you, if a string s is equal to ashes you are defining, so you cannot change the value of a string. So what is a string buffer? So a string buffer is mutable in nature. Okay, we can change the value, but the methods inside that string buffer is synchronized, right? So synchronized, because of synchronization, the performance wise it is not up to the mark. So the concept came a string builder. So a string builder means we can there is a mutability concept also, like we can change the value of a string builder, but the all methods of the buffers are like public methods of buffer class are like a string buffer is thread safe or it is like legacy. So because of that string builder concept come into the picture, because if it is thread safe or synchronized, all the methods of public methods of a string buffer is synchronized means the performance wise is not up to the mark, right? So synchronized means at a time only one thread can execute that method. So so not even two objects are like suppose two thread class are there wants to execute that methods one by one simultaneously, then they can't achieve it, right? So that's why this string builder concept come into the picture. So now it is the methods, public methods of the string builder like append and these are like append uh, multiple concat method. This is the concat method, append is nothing but. So because of that there is like method is not synchronized, so it is more faster compared to a string buffer and a string also, right? This is so these are the difference between a string buffer and a string builder. Okay,
Yeah, quite perfect. You explained perfectly using the synchronization and mutable, immutable things, right? Perfect. Now
and
there is one
performance based.
also now from your mutable and immutable concepts that you explained. I have one more question. Why a string is immutable in Java? And can you little bit throw us a light on the memory management part of a string?
Yes, so this is like a very important question. If you go in interview, they will ask why a string is final, right? So why string is immutable. So this is like uh, I will explain each and every, and memory management is like because of the memory management only the string we can make a string as not only this is the one, but many things are there. Okay, so because we are making a string as immutable, so the first concept like if you are making a string immutable, a string class immutable means we are achieving security, synchronization. caching and performance related things also. Like if you don't want to make a string as immutable, then these things are like you cannot achieve security. So how it is somebody will ask security, where what is the role of security? So see, if you string is immutable in Java, means we cannot change the value. So I'll share my screen once again, and I'll let you with show with the example how a string is immutable and what is happening behind the scene. Okay.
Sure, sure. Go
Before
ahead
that,
with your.
I'll explain. Yes.
Yeah,
So, so see, the security things is there. Why? Because see, you have maybe you have seen like we are, suppose you want to connect with a database. So every time we are just database. So what you are doing, you are just passing that fully qualified class name, right? So somebody hackers will change that fully qualified class name. Then what will happen? Right. So but string is immutable, nobody can change the value. If you they were changing, also the new object will be created, the reference will be changed, right? And so this is the concept. And another is like this is the
yeah,
this is the security reason. Another is like synchronization. Synchronization means we, like multiple suppose multiple threads are there. So if they want to change the string value, so they cannot change it. They, say one uh, three or four developer are working, and we are using the same string value in different methods. If somebody is going to change it value also, it won't affect our program, right? So we can achieve the synchronization because of immutability, right? Synchronization or concurrency, right? So the third thing is like caching. Caching means one more important concept, like a string has giving memory management, a better memory management. So I will explain little and after 2 minutes, so like how caching is happening. But now right now you just understand a string has a special memory management system. Using that, they can achieve caching easily. So like caching, like suppose you have heard like collection framework. So in that has related things like has map, has set, has uh, hash table. The three things are there. So hashing related things, no, it internally call what happened now, key and value pair. Hash map is there, key and value pair. So keys are in a string, always in a string. You know about it. So why it is a string? Because nobody can change the value. And even it is doing some operation internally. So we are going to cache it inside, like we need to convert that key into the hash code, and it is cached. So and then we are doing some bucket type of operation, and then it is getting memory. So because of a string we can do the caching. So we are making it as a immutability. So and if you talk about the performance, so performance wise it is very the performance wise string is also faster. Why? How? So see, if you are creating, so now I'll go with the means I'll share my screen and I'll explain
sure.
uh,
Go ahead.
yeah, with the
It will be great
program.
if you show us some example how it is happening. Mm,
Yes.
yeah,
I'll close that other programs, and then so see, this is one example I have taken. One string is there, a string. I have shared my screen. It is visible, hope, right?
yeah, it is visible.
So string S1, S2, and S3. Three string I have created, right? So one is like hi. So once you are created this type of a string, like a string S1 is equal to hi, so it will get memory at string constant pool. One area is there, a string constant pool, right? So it will go there and make and what there that high will store, and that object is created with high, and then return that reference s1. So once again, if you are creating object s2 with hello, right? So once again, internally JVM will go to the string constant pool area, and it will check hello is there or not. If it is not there, means means it won't if it is not there, means new object will be created, and that object, that reference, it will return it. Okay, s2. So again s3 we have created, right? So s3 means and same content we have taken. So once again JVM will go and go to the constant pool area and check there is a hello. So yeah, it is there. So once again, that reference only there, they will, same object will point to s3 also. So there is no new object created at that third time. Okay, so this is because of this, the performance itself is like high. Okay, now, so because object JVM is not going to create that object freshly during third time, right? So it will just return the reference, right? So because of that, the performance is faster. So there are somebody is having some question like how you can you were saying like these hello s2 and s3 are like separated, it means it is not same. It is same, not different. So see, there is a one equal to operator, right? Equal to operator is meant for the content comparison. Double equals to operator. So if you will write like this, then you will get true in such case. Only in such case, like the both object are same. Okay, if both object are same, means based on that it will tell you it will return true value, otherwise it will return false. So see, I am just writing same line, see this, and passing s1, so it will return false because both objects are not same. So if I'll execute that, so you will get to know that in first scenario we are getting true, and in the second we are getting false. Okay, so see, I have run, and now first true we are getting, it means only one object is created and
Correct.
reference is also same, right? So and the thing is, second is, in second case high is different and hello is different, so two more object is created.
Correct.
So this is like based on that we can say that both object are different, and right. So now there is other thing, how it is immutable, right? So
Right.
so I'll I have just uncommented it. Immutable means we are, see, we are doing updating, or we are doing some operation with s2. So what is happening here is s1 is high, after that again we are changing the value s2 is equal to java. So
Correct.
in that case, that changing the value from high to java, so new object will be created in the string pool area. Okay,
Oh,
so now s1 is java only, right? We are
right.
changing the reference. Now s2 dot concatenate, after it we are s2 is hello, after that we are adding world in S2. But if we and now S3 is there, so we are concatenating S3 hello with Ashish. So
Yeah.
in that case, you were thinking like S1 will be Java. So in this program, S1 will always refer to high. But here we are changing the value. So that's why new object is created and the value itself is changed, and now it will become Java. Okay. So for S2, if you'll see, S2 is hello right now. We are concatenating. So string is immutable in nature. We cannot change the value. So still we are getting hello for S2. And in S3, if you are concatenating, so it will concatenate and new object will be created. So hello Ashish you will get at the at last. Okay. So hello Ashish. So now if I will run this program, so you will see. we will get Java at first, Hello at second, and third we are S3 also a Hello, right? So S3 we didn't do anything. So now a new S3 will be changed and it become Hello Ashish, right? So this is the brief explanation. The string, why string is immutable and how it is different, like how memory, how it is different from other object, another object, like all the objects are getting memory in the heap area, but apart from string is getting memory in the constant pool area. But if you want to achieve, like if you want to do the same thing, like we want to uh, add a string value inside heap, so also we can do with the help of new string ashes, so it will also give you. But the thing is, here we are getting ashes in the heap area because we have created new string ashes. So why it's giving error? Because I have done the mistake in the spelling. So because of that. So here we are getting in the heap area, okay? Because everything, like every object you are creating using new operator, so always that it will store inside heap. But also, here, also the thing is, see, one more thing I will explain. A string s5 is equal to, if I'll write ashes, then s3 and s5 and s4 is not common, it is two different object, okay? So for that, once again I am just s4 is equal to s5, so it will give you false value, right? False output. So once again I am running that program, so both objects are different, okay? The both object point to different so this is the concept, Gaurav, here next to you.
Yeah, perfect, Ashish. So you explained how the string is immutable in Java and how we are doing the memory management thing. Perfect.
Yes, we are
So are
good
you
then.
okay? Yeah, perfect. Are you
Like
comfortable, Ashish, to take one more question?
for today it is like we are good.
Covered enough topic, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay, perfect. So, thanks a lot, Ashish, and certainly I believe that we have covered quite important topics, right? I just want to know, like, just your theoretical answer, right? What is basically important concept is left? So, before we conclude this session, I want to know your
yes.
answer on it.
So
Like, what is the difference between finally, and finalize in Java? I just want to know the theoretical difference between them. I do not want any
okay,
code part because they are available, but I want to you to explain just the theoretical part.
yes. So see, Gaurav, final is like a keyword. Okay,
Mhm.
finally is a block, and
Okay.
finalize is nothing but a method in Java. Okay,
Okay.
so keyword means final is a keyword, right? If you are making one class as a final, so you
Hmm.
cannot change the value. It is a immutable class. You cannot change the value, and you cannot extend the class. Okay, so if you are making a variable as a final means during declaration only you have to initialize, okay? You cannot reassign that value, it is a constant, okay? That variable you are making a constant, like int I is equal to 20 if you are giving, and making it this data int I is equal to 20, right? So if you are making this data type, this I as final, then what will happen is you cannot reassign that value, okay? If you want to change 20, from 20 to 30, it is not possible at all. So the third thing is like finalize. So okay, so the third thing is like if you are making a method as a final, so we cannot override it, okay? So now we will go for finally concept. So finally is a block means a special type. Block means what it will do is, mm, it's like a common things, like you have heard about try block, catch block, and right, so in exception. So similar way finally is also a block, it is always come with try, okay, or try or catch. alone try is also sufficient. Try and catch, and finally, this is the sequence we need to declare. Okay,
Correct.
so
Correct.
whatever inside try block, if you are opening any resource, right? So it will be closed. Or any costly resource like connection you have opened, so connection file system, so that should be closed. You should
Close
close
the
it,
file.
right?
Finally block,
So
right?
in finally block we need to close it. So this is like finally. Okay, so
Okay.
finally is the second thing is with a finally we cannot, if we will get that exception, so exception occurred, we haven't handled, so program shut down abnormally, right? But
Right.
if you have finally block, then JVM will check if it has finally, then uh, first the whatever the code inside the finally, that will
Correct.
execute, and then it will shut down. So finalize, so the next and last is like finalize, right?
Correct.
So finalize is a method, okay, which is available in object. It is a object class method, Gaurav here. Okay,
Okay.
so see, we have like basically this method is called just before garbage collected. Okay, garbage
Okay.
collected. Hmm.
Hmm.
So this is the different,
Correct.
like
Perfect.
yes, this is the difference
Okay.
between finally and finalize.
Difference is that the one is the keyword, one is basically attached with the try-catch thing, and one is just called
Block and method.
class that is called before the garbage collector and all. Okay.
Correct.
Perfect. Okay. So those who are watching, so quite important questions we have covered in this session, right? So what we covered in this session is the difference between the abstract classes, difference between the abstract classes and the interface, polymorphism and its type, and how we achieve polymorphism, difference between a string builder, and string buffer in Java, why string is immutable Java, and how the memory management thing happens for it, and finally the keyword finally, and finalize in Java. So quite important questions we covered, and I really appreciate Ashish, you took your time to share all these informations and all this knowledge with us. So thanks a lot, Ashish. And certainly
Thank
we
you.
have for our viewers, I would like to inform that we will be soon conducting meet sessions, right, where we will be interacting with the learners, and we will be learning topic wise all the important steps that we are discussing. So certainly Ashish is one of our contributor, and we have a lot of other contributors also with 15, 20 or more years of experience that are eager to share their experience with everyone. So thanks, Ashish. Hope you enjoyed sharing your knowledge with us, and certainly we will see you in any near future session.
Sure. Thank you, Gaurav. Bye bye.
Thanks everyone for watching. Please share and uh, share with anyone who is preparing for the interviews. I believe it will certainly help them. Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye bye. Bye, Ashish. Thanks.
Bye.